The Golden Knights win the first preseason game of the season on Sunday night. Big deal. 4-2 over the San Jose Sharks on the road. Details coming your way next, right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, hi again, everyone. The start of a new week. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com and take a look at the odds for 2 Monday Night Football games this evening.
It's pretty cool. I like it.
VGK opens the preseason in San Jose on Sunday night. Hey, congratulations to those that were able to tune in. The Golden Knights led 3-0 in this game. Akira
I'm surprised, Tony, you left it just at that. I'm surprised you didn't tee off.
Oh, no.
Segment.
We're going.
Okay.
We're going in a minute. It takes me a while to wake up. It's Monday.
Fair.
Hips don't lie. Akira Schmid was in net for the first 30 minutes of the game. No goals on 8 shots. This guy is a space eater. He takes up a lot of space in net. Pretty big dude. And then the shorty came in. That's Isaiah Seville. Gave up 2 goals. Faced 12 shots in the game. Not a lot of vets on the ice last night. The top line, that was pretty funny. Who was it? It was Brett Howden.
It was line 4. It was the Brett Howden line. It was the Tanner Pearson line, Tony.
Tanner Pearson and Keegan Colasar. Now, that was a lot of fun. And Howden breaks through and scores. And Tanner PTO Pearson becomes the new Vegas Bjorn with the empty netter last night. That seals the game late. So we had Callahan Burke and Tomas Urinen also scoring goals for the VGK. It was a huge night, and everyone was celebrating after a preseason win.
Listen, number one.
Champagne? Yeah, no. Okay.
Number one, it's nice to have hockey back. I don't care if it's preseason. It's good to have hockey back. It's good to see that familiarity again, something we obviously have missed going all the way back until, April. Yikes, been a long time. So good to see hockey back. Good to see at least the 4th/top line doing their job. That's a good thing. Howden had a nice goal. It's kind of like a little mini breakaway type of goal. Got it 5-hole and everything. And getting Howden and Colasar wearing letters in a game, you're not going to get that too often. So that was kind of cool to see Colasar and Hutton out there. Not Colasar and Hutton, sorry. Hutton and Korzak out there as well. First look at Schmid. I mean, listen, there's a lot to be excited about. And speaking of not excited, the San Jose Sharks fans, people are talking about how great the attendance was at all these draft parties over the summer when the team drafted Celebrini. I know it's the first preseason game. I get it. But this is the franchise. This is the man, Celebrini. I know your napkin. There's something on there about it. I saw that. Like, how is the rink that empty? Someone just this morning on Twitter says, "Oh, there was a Niners game." Well, yeah, they played in LA. Who cares? Like, I don't understand. Like, how are there not more people there to see? I don't know what the comparison is, but I'll take a flyer on the fact that Bedard, the first preseason game he played, there's probably a few more people on West Madison Street at the United Center for that game. So whatever to that, but good to see the Golden Knights still imposing their will on the San Jose Sharks, whether it's regular season, postseason, not postseason, that doesn't happen too much anymore. Regular season, preseason, whatever it is, good to see. And we got hockey again. It's cool, Tony. It's cool.
You know who else was wearing a letter, and it was a letter F? That was state-run television. Hard to watch. Nighttime Plus just kept buffering. So they took the Sharks Jumbotron feed, and they were whispering as though Bill Foley was in the next room, and they did not want to wake him up. I thought that they were like in someone's mom's basement. Seriously. The sound was hollow. They're talking over each other. They have 4 people. There's no play-by-play. That Jumbotron feed. Okay, we had 3 in the net, 3 tacos you get. And then, hey, I wanted to enter that 50-50 drawing.
Is that a Vegas thing or a San Jose thing?
This is the San Jose.
Oh,
makes
okay.
noise. We saw everything that was fed on the Jumbotron.
It's like an AHL feed. That's exactly what they do in the American League. It's funny.
Put some money into it. Okay, this is a marketing spend, folks. You're trying to drive ticket sales. You're trying to wake up this fan base. You're trying to promote those stinking pins. I was feeling spicy. I went to the Raiders game yesterday, and then I went to the Aces game last night.
Rough game.
And
for
I
the
was
Raiders,
spicy.
Andy Dalton was the man yesterday. Andy friggin' Dalton.
Well, it didn't matter. I had a good day on the air, so that was all good. Where was my tweet that I had yesterday? I had a pretty good one about talking over each other. It was just bad. It was just bad. In any event, they should have put some money into that, even on a jumbotron feed, or they should have sent them up there to the Bay. Oh, it said Akira Schmid just made a save that Dave Gosher described as really nice. Bit of an understatement there, Dave, but nonetheless,
that was the 2-on-1 we're talking about. That was a great save.
Of course, my response, couldn't hear it. Ashley was talking over him. Couldn't hear it. They were talking over each other. Oh, it was pretty bad. The sound was hollow. And I'm not going to, I don't want to critique this and go all in, but I'm watching it. First of all, I watched the San Jose feed, and that was a little bit sporadic for me. I don't know about you, but I watched that. That went in and out. I listened to the San Jose play-by-play radio call for a minute there. And then I kept going back on. So Nighttime said I was in it. This is not your zip code, 89104. Duh, I'm on the Strip, okay? I'm just trying to stink and log in. And it's supposed to be free. Great. But at times it just went dark, right? Did you try to go in?
I was working last night, so I had the game on my computer from a borrowed feed. I guess we'll leave it like that. And that was fine, but it was the Sharks play. It was the same one you saw, I think, with the Sharks scoreboard and all that. And looking over like, what the heck is Sharky over there, like doing his thing and all that. But I mean,
so I broadcast. I just so you know, I broadcast games where we use a jumbotron feed, but anytime they cut to do the 50-50 drawing, make some noise, show some people picking their nose in the stands or what have you, we're able to cut away. We actually employ like extra cameras. They're able to switch it, and we have like a decent sort of feed for live streams. So I don't know what went wrong there, but a lot of folks didn't get it. What I'm getting at here is, too, a lot of folks did not get the opportunity to watch this team. And the first preseason game, there was a lot of excitement here in Vegas for VGK. And equally, there's a lot of excitement anytime they play the Sharks. They want to beat the snot out of them.
No, it's all fair. And I guess just I'll kind of go.
Our media columnist, Tony Cardasco, today says.
I'll hit a couple here. Number one, there was a lot of concern about the Nighttime Plus app, and that is a concern. I mean, I get it. It's day one of the preseason. They got to work the bug. No, you've had a whole summer to get this worked out. And this is, if anything, this is the most important time for the Nighttime Plus app, because this is when people are thinking about making that purchase. Exactly. Yes. This is the time people are thinking about making that purchase. And, this has been I'm not going to call it a failure of an app, but it's an app that's had a lot of issues. All you got to do is go on social media the day of the game, and more times than not, someone's going to put a post out there, either on Twitter or Facebook. So this is something that the team needs to figure out, because a lot has been put into this, and a lot's been, there's been a lot of in theory, it's great. $70 the entire year. You get the games on your phone or on your TV, no questions asked. Life is good. Okay, well, it doesn't exactly work like that. So VGK's got to do a lot better in that department, and I'm sure they know that as well. On the Sharks side, I'm still just kind of dumbfounded that there was like 12 people in the stand. There was more than 12, but like Celebrini, here's the man, here's the excitement.
But the odds would have been great to win that 50-50. That's what
you would have got 14. You would have got $14. Good job. So that's the other side of that. And on the Golden Knights side, listen, Schmid, obviously a nice clean sheet. Fine, we'll take that. Top line doing what they're supposed to do out there. And now you got a lot of people, especially Brendan Brisson, trying to prove himself out there. You got Denisenko out there trying to show that he's ready to make that jump. And I'm sure Wednesday's preseason game in Vegas will have probably about 2 normal lines and then 2 lines made up of prospects and vets. probably one, maybe two defensive pairings, or maybe you'll have three of the six top defensemen in there. But you'll definitely see a little more exposure in Wednesday's preseason game and get a little better
TV.
taste of what this looks like.
Yeah, and they'll have live TV. I think that this was, in all fairness, right? I think this was a last minute thing to put it actually on TV. I think they were just going to do a radio feed initially. So
Vegas, you're talking about?
yeah, initially, I think it was a last minute thing that they were
I
going
have
to
no
be.
idea. I haven't followed.
They
that
said
side of
they
it. I don't
said
know.
we're having some issues with Nighttime Plus, and they go, the game is finally up, and I put About Time Plus, About Time. So Celebrini, you said he looked the part though, from everything I could tell.
Yeah, nice one timer, nice goal.
Nice goal, and it had that dime, that assist to Tyler Toffoli as well. So that was pretty good. Oh,
Always
what
on the
about?
Sharks? Wow, okay.
I think they were about to go. They were about to go. Giovanni Smith and Keegan Colasar.
I saw that, and then they probably both realized it was preseason, and then
I did see that.
Revo had a fight. Revo had a fight for Toronto.
What? I didn't see that.
Revo had a fight. Pacioretty had a 3-point game for his PTO game.
Oh, that's tremendous. So Giovanni Smith had a double minor. He was going after both Caden Korzak and Keegan Colasar, and then later on, those two guys were jawing, and they grabbed each other's jersey, and they were about to go. So that would have been fun, and we'll keep an eye on that. Oh yeah, Utah.
Preseason. I think they both know it's preseason, and they were probably just. I saw the first skirmish in the corner, bits and pieces. I didn't see the second part, so I'm just assuming they probably kind of both realized what the situation was, and like, hey, let's get a beer after the game instead of doing this now.
Like Colasar's like, hey, I'm on the top line, bro. Let's go, man. Like I'm.
I don't have time for fourth liners. I'm on the top line. I'm protected.
I'm on the top line now. So, I was going to say Utah wound up winning its first preseason game on a penalty shot yesterday. So that's pretty funny.
How about the first goal they gave up, Tony?
What was it? Who scored
You didn't see this?
No.
It was an own goal. So Utah had This is the first goal. Is the first goal they gave up, or first goal they scored. However you want to look at it, I guess.
Scored, yeah.
So no, Utah has an extra man because there's a delayed penalty. They pass it back to the point, and bad ice. The puck takes a bounce, and it goes right into their net with the goalie pulled.
That's the only thing I had on my bingo card yesterday for VGK for Nighttime Plus that did not hit.
Now, the only thing better, Tony, real fast before you get out of this, but the only thing better is when you find the play-by-play call of that Utah goal, it sounded worse than whatever our worst muffled microphone was, like the way it came through it. It was worse than an ECHL feed. Like, it was bad, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, at first, though, like they were just talking casually, too, on the air on this Nighttime Plus feed.
Hot mic, bro. Hot mic.
It sounded like there was a hot mic at one point. They were talking about Korzak, and I'm like, did they know they're on the air? Like, they're like, yeah, I kind of like him. I think, yeah, but I don't know how he's going to break in. But yeah, okay. All right, that's a wrap on that. We had to make it fun there because the game was not exciting. Coming up next, some Vegas fans are steamed about a comment that former Vegas Golden Knights goalie Logan Thompson made over the weekend. Next on this edition.
Why so serious?
Of Locked On Golden Knights. We have a new sponsor today, folks. It's PrizePicks. Download the app today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you'll get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's right. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. All you do is pick more or less 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. And it's so much fun. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. PrizePicks is the best way to get into the action in sports in most states, including our friends in California, in Texas, and in Georgia. So check it out. Player and stat types that you're selecting are so much fun. You can, for instance, say an example of a player projection lineup would include Tyreek Hill for more than 90 receiving yards and Dak Prescott for more than 263 passing yards. Download the PrizePicks app today, PrizePicks, and use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you will receive $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's code LOCKEDONNHL for PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You could find us wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel, where this past weekend, voila, you found the Chris and Chris Jr. show.
Finally.
Yeah, start of a new season. I would like to have gotten Chris's comments about Nighttime Plus. That would have been a lot of fun. Did he put it in his journal? Did he put that in his journal? Does he take my napkin screenshots? No.
Preseason, he doesn't do a lot of work for the preseason.
Some might say VGK's system is goaltender friendly. The defense is supposed to more or less make the goalie's life easier, make the goalie look good. Okay, that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Well, on Friday, Logan Thompson was asked if he could adapt to this new Washington Capital system. So LT just quips. It was a quip. I thought, okay, yeah, I guess Vegas takes all the credit for goaltending over there. I'm curious to see how different it will be and if I can even play in the league. Tongue in cheek, right, for Thompson. Not sour grapes. I thought it was kind of funny, actually. What were your thoughts initially?
Before I do have a direct quote from Logan Thompson.
A direct quote.
Direct quote. Yeah, lockdown only. No one else has this. We're the only one that has this.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
So before I get to that, really fast,
capital to get this.
What's that? Or I just sent him a text. But either way, however you want to look at this.
Okay.
So number one here's where the media, and listen, again, I get it. People are looking to generate clicks and stuff, and people say things, whatever, fine. That's how people make their livelihood on the internet, and I understand that. But a lot of media outlets are only taking the first part of the statement. I guess Vegas takes all the credit for the goaltending over there, and that's it. No one else is putting the second part of this. And it even says he joked, too. It's a funny thing. It even says he joked. I'm curious to see how different it'll be if I can even play in the league. So this is clearly, like you said, Tony, it's tongue-in-cheek. He's being very playful. So here's the exact quote from Logan Thompson. This is directly from Logan Thompson from me for everyone out there. All right, here we go. It was a joke. Anyone who knows me knows it's a playful thing. If anything, I was just saying how good the Vegas D is, and I was just being a smartass about it. Again, Logan's words, not my words. That's why I had to paraphrase a naughty word in there. So Logan he's a chill dude. He's having some fun. You get a microphone in front of him. He's just making comments. And I don't think anyone in Vegas, like as far as like the players and the coaching staff, I don't think they look at that like, oh my God, Logan Thompson is out here blasting us. But a lot of the VGK fan base definitely took it like that, and fine, so be it. They're allowed to do that. People can react however they want to react to things, but just understand, Logan's not taking shots at the organization with that comment. He's having fun. Don't overthink it. Don't go nuts. Logan still appreciates everything about this city. I can assure you that. He ain't taking a shot at those who made his life very good for the last few years.
Yeah. They put him around some really good goaltenders. That's why he was good.
March's comment. There you go.
That's why he was so good.
Hey, listen, he got a lot from Marc-Andre Fleury, though. We know that.
What in the world? Media. Okay, here in Vegas, they pile on to a Logan Thompson quote, but they won't say a damn thing negative about VGK. Go figure. So when you're gone, now it's piling on season. To me, that is an absolute joke. That's my stance.
Listen, okay, let's look at what's happened right now. And part of this is, the local fan base and how they're reacting to things. Part of this is also, Tony, we talked about this. What did the Golden Knights do the second the Marchessault trade happened, Tony? Right after it happened, what did they do? It starts with a D. Deflect.
Yeah.
Deflectors.
I got the right word today, too. It wasn't even on my napkin.
It wasn't on the napkin, so they deflect, right? So March or so, they deflect. They start putting all like Trevor Connolly. They deflect. Did they deflect for a while when Trevor Connolly came in? They deflect. And when Logan Thompson, the organization, it's not just the Golden Knights want to make sure they come out looking good in things right now, right? They want to make sure they come out looking good. That's their job. Their job, to a sense, is to make sure that everything looks good in VGK land. And that's why Kelly McCrimmon, air quotes, all of a sudden goes on the AHL network to talk about Jonathan Marchessault and gets a preloaded baked question about Robin Lehner, which anyone who wants to argue that, please tell me that was not a preloaded question. I'll drag you. I'll do the dragon for you on that one. But that's their job. That's their job. And, they want the focus now to be obviously on the goaltenders, on Aiden Hill, on Schmid, who had a nice game last night. And of course, Samsonov, who knows what we're going to get, but Samsonov is the man right now as far as behind Aiden Hill. So the organization wants the current players to get the attention, and they want to make sure that the current players have the support. And once you're not with Vegas anymore, thank you for being here. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to say the old players are dead to the franchise, but to a degree, I think that's kind of what VGK land wants.
I can see a Kelly McCrimmon presser coming out of that quote. I think there's going to be an exclusive press conference about that. VGK, in all actuality, does not allow a lot of high danger shots, and most shots come from the perimeter. So we know about this Cassidy structure.
It is a goalie-friendly system. Let's acknowledge that. Logan will be the first one to tell you it's a goalie-friendly system. It's not as friendly as I think people think, but it is a very goalie-friendly system.
Yep. And then, what was it, 46 games last season, 25, 14, 4, 270 goals against, 908 save percentage. So he did pretty well here. And hopefully he does that well.
He had the starter share of the net, even though he was the air quotes backup for the last 2 years, who has started a lot more games than Aiden Hill.
Yep. I hope Logan Thompson, if he's tuning in, has some sort of a quote about being a backup here. So coming up next, we go from one goaltender to another.
You don't want to see those texts.
Robin Lehner issues a statement over the weekend. We'll talk about it next right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. My goodness, we came out of the gate strong today. Fans start the season off with a big return at FanDuel. Why? Because it is America's #1 sportsbook. And when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats. You can view live play-by-play and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. And tonight, we not only have one Monday Night Football game, but we have two, twice as good tonight. They're kind of mid matchups. The Jaguars are at the Bills. That could be good. And the Bills -6 currently at FanDuel. The total on this game, 45 and a hook. And Washington is at the Bengals. And Cincinnati's favored by 7.5. And the total on the game is 45. You can get much more action and check out the latest odds right there on FanDuel. And you will get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's right. $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Go to FanDuel.com. Why? Because it's America's #1 sportsbook. Back on this edition, Locked On Golden Knights for a Monday. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Don't forget, on Fridays, it's WTF Day. Saturdays, I can't use that word sometimes because the Chris and Chris Jr. show.
I wasn't sure what you're going to use, but okay, now it makes sense.
It's so back. It is so back, right? Isn't that what you
so back? I think that was topic number 1. It's so back.
It's so back. So that was pretty cool. And of course, make sure that you subscribe, please, to our Lockdown Golden Knights YouTube channel. We go from one goaltender in LT to another. Robin Lehner says everyone knew why he wasn't at last week's mandatory medical exam. So Lehner comes out with a brief statement saying, and he texted me and said, "Yo, Tony." He did not text me. A brief statement saying, "All I can say at this time is everyone knows why I couldn't be there."
Everyone's a big word in that statement. Keep going.
"I am waiting calmly for things to be sorted out." So the rumor mill is up and running. And some folks are saying perhaps he is still in the players' assistance program. Some some are saying in the rumor mill now. I'm not a journalist. I'm not even a podcaster. This is the rumor mill. And he said someone was saying, throwing it out there yesterday, that Lehner doesn't even want the $4.5 million because he'd have to take that money from the left hand and pay off the creditors with the right because of bankruptcy. So maybe he doesn't even want the money.
My turn? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't sure if you're still going
we are
there.
talking over each other. This sounds like the Nighttime Plus app.
There you go. No, I mean, I don't. That was one of the things that I did suggest when it came out last week that he was not going to report for the mandatory part of the camp to satisfy his contract. There's more to it, and whether I'm assuming, because all we have from Lehner is one sentence, and we have two sentences from Kelly McCrimmon right now. So all we can do is kind of churn things a little bit here, trying to understand what's happening. And I do think he's acting at the direction of someone offering advice on his situation, probably a lawyer. Whether it has to do with his personal finances or other, we don't know. The fact that he came out and issued a statement is kind of interesting. Why did he issue this statement? Does he think that people in Vegas, want to hear from him? And if that's the case, I think people do want to hear from him. I think there's a lot of jokes made, including on this show about Lehner, probably inappropriate. I'll be the first to say we crossed that line, but
that's not it. That's not it.
What is it?
That's not it. He's fighting. You have to understand. He's fighting the medieval empire. Okay.
I was going there.
No. Go ahead. Take it there.
No, I was just saying the everyone knows comment. That's the part that has my attention. Everyone knows. Everyone is a very blanket statement. And when he's saying everyone knows, I'm assuming that's directed to his employer, current, not former, his current employer. So I don't know if VGK is mishandling this. I mean, I think they need to make a statement, and they need to make sure they are doing everything they can to be cap compliant, roster compliant, following the rules. Insert LTIR joke here, but they need to make sure they're doing everything they need to do. And people are going to ask questions about it. So VGK is getting ahead of it by issuing a statement. And Robin Lehner is in turn firing a shot back saying, everyone knows, including Kelly McCrimmon, everyone knows why he's not there. Whether he's assuming Kelly McCrimmon knows or should know, who knows? But a lot of knows right there. But at the end of the day, I don't think Lehner, and most importantly, Lehner isn't looking to break something off in the keister, so to speak, of the Golden Knights. I think he's doing what he's being directed to do. And I think anyone that thinks this is going to end up negatively impacting the Golden Knights as far as salary cap drama goes, I think it's going to be a non-starter, but this might play out publicly a little more than maybe it needs to.
Transparency is the big word, the key word here.
Who?
Was McCrimmon transparent about what happened? Hey, we knew that he wasn't going to be arriving here. We knew he wasn't coming, and we're working with the NHL and the Players Association to come to some sort of a resolution. That's all they needed to say. Why couldn't he say that? He knew. And then Saravelli, who's great, Frank Saravelli, the good doctor, he confirmed with sources that said everyone knew Lehner wouldn't be there at training camp. And McCrimmon's got to take a little shot on the side. He is not fit to play, here in Vegas. He's not fit. He's not fit to play. Regardless of what the issues are, just say, listen, we knew he wasn't coming. There are some issues we're trying to resolve at this time, but that's between us, the NHL, and the Players Association. Take that quote and take it to the bank, folks, because, again, it seems like what's VGK hiding at this point? At this juncture, what are they hiding? And then they cut it off. And then I'm talking to reporters. Why is there no stinking follow-up questions? I don't care if McCrimmon gives you the Heisman. I don't care what he does, but you have to ask a follow-up question or two.
It's fair, and you know that world much better than I do, and I certainly will just defer to you for that sort of thing. I mean, we definitely see things are a little bit different here in Vegas as far as the media side, whether it's the people, present company included, asking the questions or the people answering the questions. It's a different world. It's a different world than a major market, even though I think VGK thinks they're a major market. They're not, but they're a big market, but they're not New York, Toronto, and all these other major markets out there, but any original six city. And it's all good. I'm not knocking them. That's just what the reality is. Back to all this stuff with Robin Lehner. Tony, you're onto something. You're not wrong about everything that you're saying right now. And I'll go back to my perspective. Why was there again, I will say this very happily. If someone wants to correct me, feel free, come on the show, tweet me, whatever. But why was there a baked in question on the NHL network to Kelly McCrimmon so randomly about Robin Lehner? Hey, we gave him his Stanley Cup ring. We're thankful for what he did. This is awesome. We gave him this ring. And now a week later, he doesn't show up to camp. And all of a sudden, the team they're not looking to pile on Robin Lehner, but the team wants to make sure that good guy, Vegas, bad guy, Robin Lehner. I will happily make that statement. I will happily say that.
Mm-hmm. No,
just like good guy VGK, bad guy Logan Thompson, good guy VGK, bad guy Jonathan Marchessault. There's a pattern here.
McCrimmon will come on the show, but make sure that you ask him two questions: one about Marchessault and one about Robin Lehner, and then he'd gladly do the interview.
Time's up. Got to run.
Unbelievable. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much.
They're doing their job. I will say that too, Tony. I will qualify my statement with that. They're doing their job.
They're spinning everything, but
all I'm asking for
is some sort of transparency. It always seems like McCrimmon's hiding something, and here is another example with Lehner.
It's fair. Okay, you're not wrong on that. I'll back that 100%.
And of course, the front office and maybe Foley and the attorneys with VGK told them not to say anything, but. Again, it's like, who knows? Who knows?
The only question I have, Tony, then you can take us out of here.
It's a simple solution here to either pay the dude or don't. It's like pretty simple. Figure it out. Do it.
Well, that's the league.
3 parties involved. What's that?
That's the league and the NHLPA.
You say it's rigged? Oh, I thought you said it's rigged.
The one thing I was going to say, I forgot. The one thing I'll say is, listen, I don't know. They're doing their job. The question I do have is, where does all this VGK brand protection come from? Is this a Foley thing? Is this Foley really wanting to make sure that everything looks great about VGK and then what rolls downhill? Or is this a McCrimmon and McPhee thing?
The made man.
Sure, but who's making the rule, Tony? Is this coming from the boss, or is this coming from someone below the boss? That's my question. Foley's the boss. Everyone else is below Foley.
Here's Foley. I'm doing 5,000 transactions to buy land today. You guys just handle this and try to make us look good. And just
maybe I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think I know that. Remember, Foley said he was going to get involved in the day-to-day. Is he? I don't know. I'm not quite sure about that.
That's a good question, and that's something I would ask. That would have been a wonderful question for training camp. That would have been a great question for training camp too.
I think that's good for a good show topic. This is how we plan, folks, right here in real time. We appreciate.
You think that Foley's involved in the day-to-day business when they drafted Trevor Connolly?
We appreciate everyone tuning in. That's that's a great segment, and maybe even a show. Thanks for tuning in, especially our everydayers tuning in from everywhere around the planet. We appreciate you doing so. Of course, make sure that you subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. And on Fridays, WTF, I can feel that they're already lining up even on a Monday. And on Saturdays, the Chris and Chris Jr. Show, the YouTube exclusive. Thanks so much for tuning in. For my man, Chris Golick, I am Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights. And please, it's not game time. Please take care.